What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Friday. 9-game slate here tonight, a perfect size slate. Not too big, not too small. Enough games to choose from so you can be a little bit different from everyone else. And I got my money 6 for the night. So before we get going, if you could drop a like in the video, that'd be appreciated. Let's try to get over 100 likes again in this one. Thank you. And without further ado, let's just hop right into it. I'm not just going to waste any time here today. Get right to the action. First guy up, we're going to go with Kyrie Irving. The guy was super usage game one. It did go to overtime, so obviously got some extra opportunities there. But 33 shots. I'm not sure he put up that many, even in OT. Scored 50 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. So crazy stuff out of him. Looked very good. This guy always has that upper gear once he gets hot, when he's healthy. He can be banged up a little bit here and there, but with him at a good point health-wise to start this year. Another good matchup against the New York Knicks here tonight, a team that I think he's going to want to put some work on, with the rumors of him wanting to go to the Knicks, and then he chose the Nets. A little bit of a narrative there, but this is just a very not great defensive team in the Knicks, and I think this game should be very high scoring. The Nets currently have the highest implied total of the slate. Kyrie had like a 40% usage rate in game one, so very good stuff on the outlook heading into this game. I think he can drop another big line here tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first guy. Then we're going to go with Siakam, similar to Kyrie, super usage in game one. His salary didn't really change. I think he might have been like 7,700 or something like that the first game. But the fact remains, this guy is going to be the go-to guy in this Raptors offense. Obviously, he's shown a good amount of like all the tools you need in the offensive end. He can hit the jump shots on the outside. He can drive to the paint. He can finish through contact. And he's also a very good rebounder. I mean, he's like Giannis, but a little bit more finesse, I would say. Is that similar kind of game to him? He can be a little bit of a better, more just a better shooter, I would say, the three-point line. But a very similar game where he just drives with his head down, goes through contact. If he misses, he can grab his own rebound, put it back in. There's a lot of things that make you think of Giannis, and he has a pretty solid team around him to spread it out from as well. So at 8,100 here, against the Celtics team, the big thing here is that the Celtics don't have that true rim protector. Enes Kanter, more known as an offensive center, and we saw Ben Simmons, similar to Siakam, that's the guy that drives constantly, have some great success against the Celtics defense in game one. Shot 11 out of 16. Florida with a triple-double there. I believe he put up like a 24, 8, and 8. So I think Siakam can fill it up here again, be able to attack that rim protection of the Celtics, and be able to go to work here again tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. I'm going to go with Hassan Whiteside. So a big thing with Whiteside on the Miami Heat before he left was he just wasn't getting enough minutes to really carry his upside on a day-in, day-out basis. So he was averaging 23.2 minutes per game last year. Still average a double-double and put up 32.8 DraftKings points on average. And now in his first game, he got 26 minutes, which is a decent amount of uptick in minutes where he can make him be able to return value. This is always a guy that's very effective in limited minutes to begin with. But if you can just give him a few more minutes where he's able to stay in the court, get a few more rebounds, and put up some more potential stats. And also, this is a really soft matchup against the Kings. They lost Marvin Bagley, so their down low defense is going to be a little bit suspect. I think Whiteside can go to work on the boards here. And at 7,200, I think he can be a guy that flirts with a big double-double, especially if he even sees a few extra minutes, if that's possible. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third guy. And for my fourth guy, we're going to go with GilAlexander. Another guy where you just want to target the usage. You want to go with the number one scoring option on the team, and it's in a good matchup here against the Washington Wizards. Not a good defense by any stretch of the imagination. Thunder have a pretty good implied total here tonight, and I like what I've seen out of GilAlexander. He definitely has the raw ability to be a good scorer in this league. The only question with him is if he can fill it up in other categories, but I think he'll just be able to, just on the merit of how involved he's going to be in the game. With the ball in his hands, he's going to back himself into a few more assists and he has the length and ability to go and grab some rebounds here and there on this Thunder team. And yeah, they're really going to need him to be that scorer. So 6,500, good matchup against the Wizards. It was a tough matchup game one against the Utah Jazz, and he still put up 26 points. That was his career high in scoring. So I think he can build on that performance and have another good one here alongside Chris Paul. He's always going to give him good situations to score. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my fourth guy. Then I'm going to go with Moran as my fifth guy. A little bit of risky play as he only had 25 minutes in his first game. But I think some of that was due to the game script as they got down by around like 15 points or so, and they ended up losing by 19 in that fourth quarter. So that really made him struggle. And I don't know. I just think that he's going to be able to have some more success in this matchup against the Bulls and be able to stay on the court a little bit longer, especially if he gets going. There's no reason to take off your high pick if he does get going in this game against Chicago. We did see Terry Rozier struggle, but we also saw Devontae Graham off the bench for the Hornets in game one against the Chicago team and have a monster game. So I think Moran can get to work here, be able to figure it out a little bit more. I mean, he wasn't bad scoring-wise, 14 points on 50% shooting. I think it's just the turnovers that held him back, but I don't think he has that those same struggles in game two against a weaker defense in Chicago. The Miami Heat did have a pretty underrated defense last year. They do have some solid length, like Justice Winslow can give some people some trouble at the guard spot. So I think Moran, sneaky good play here tonight. I think he'll bounce back because he did have good ability or opportunities in his first game with 12 shots in 25 minutes, and also he has that rebound and assist upside, which we saw in college and we saw in the preseason. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my fifth guy. For my value guy, we're going to go with Josh Hart. I think this guy is always an underrated player. And in game one, he got the minutes you're looking for at a cheap guy, 3,200. 28 minutes, had 15 points, 10 rebounds. And he's always a guy that can get the rebounds. He's a shooting guard, can play some three as well, but he's always a skying for the rebounds. So with that in mind, it adds to his floor and also adds the extra minutes he's getting with 28 off the bench, adds to his potential ceiling in this game. I mean, the Pelicans have a weird lineup, I would say, with Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, and J.J. Redick all starting, as J.J. Redick isn't really a true small forward by any means. Josh Hart more comfortable in that position. And Dallas can go smaller, as their center is more of a power forward, I would say, Maxi Kebler. But in this, so with that said, they go smaller. Josh Hart, I think, can get some extra run again here, over 20 minutes and a nice price tag at 3,200. So we're just targeting the minutes here. And for a guy that is, in my opinion, underrated, can score off the bench for this Pelicans team, and he has that ability to fill it up with the rebounds, I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy. So that's the money six. You got Kyrie, GilAlexander, Josh Hart, Siakam, Whiteside, and Moran here tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like in the video. If you did, you can comment any opinions of yourself on the video. Yeah, you can subscribe to the channel to get more of these NBA DFS picks. Wish you guys the best of luck here tonight. Yesterday's slate was a bit of a weird one, but I think this one on a 9-game slate will be able to target better plays throughout and less fluky kind of games with this 9-game slate. So good luck, and we'll see you back here again next time.